Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now, today's first story comes from a throwaway account titled "She, 33 female, cheated. I, 32 male, left, but she's not letting go." And it does follow with an update as well. Pretty much what the title says, but obviously I should provide background to the situation. Okay, I've been with my ex-girlfriend Vanessa for the past 5 years. We met at a convention for one of our hobbies, started just talking about the hobby itself with no other goal in mind. We started dating when she confessed that she liked me as more than a friend, and it was mutual. I just kept quiet because I didn't really want to ruin the friendship and I wasn't really expecting her to be interested in me. Dated for about 2 years steadily before we moved in together. Our families meshed well together, our friends mingled, and we all became one big mixed social circle. That was a surprise because we both come from very different financial backgrounds. Me being raised in poor/middle class kind of finances, Vanessa and her friends and family being really rich. Everything was great for the past 3 years, except when she cheated. Vanessa cheated on me with some random guy. I don't even honestly know why, nor do I really care to find out. I found out a month ago because I took her phone to call up a friend since mine was inoperable at the time. First thing I saw when I unlocked her phone was a message popping up about how some guy loved that ass bouncing on him the day before. I'll spare you the emotional turmoil I briefly went through, and I'll admit I just put the phone down, told her I was leaving without telling why, and I could see she was confused about me just going out like that. I just didn't want to do something I'd regret because I did have anger issues in the past, but have mostly worked past those. She probably found out I saw that message, but since my phone was still in the apartment, there was no one way to get in touch with me. I literally just walked around the city for hours until I was so tired that I felt like falling asleep on my feet. Went over to a friend's place, stayed with them overnight, and the day after, I got over to our apartment and talked it out with Vanessa. I told her I wasn't going to be in a relationship with a cheater, and that was that. I didn't ask for details, how it happened, who exactly the other guy was. I just wanted to go away from it all. She wasn't looking to oblige me, crying hysterically, blaming herself, hitting herself in the head because she was, and I quote, "a stupid, cheating, see you next Tuesday." Begging me not to go, that she would do anything to try and fix this. The whole thing just made me even more uncomfortable to be around her, and there was a scene in front of our apartment where our neighbours came out to see what the noise was about. I did manage to get away, but it was unnecessarily complicated with drama. She made her choice to fuck someone else. I made mine to break up because I didn't want to be with a cheater. I managed to take away most of my things from the apartment when she wasn't there and hoped that would be that. But if it was, I wouldn't be here now. I mentioned before Vanessa and her family are rich. She's now using her, and I presume her family's money, in not giving me a single day of some kind of reminder of her. Either I'm getting gifts sent my way at my workplace, or I'm getting letters in the mail and packages. Or she just hangs out with one friend of hers somewhere where she knows I am. I have no idea how she knows, and this is making me feel paranoid because I keep thinking she might have someone following me, trying to get me to talk with her. I've tried talking with local police on the matter, but I've been told in not so many words that her family would make sure nothing would be done about it. Props to the cop for being honest about it, but they could do their job instead. I want to heal, I want to move on, but she's not letting me, and I don't have enough money to just move away somewhere else. She's already blocked or ignored on every possible media I have, but strangely enough, she's not trying to get me through them anyway. Friends on the other hand are. Every friend she's got, and she has plenty, has asked me to just meet up with her, hear her out, or something else like that. I'm so tired of that. I'm tired of this kind of shit. I just want it over with. I don't want to hear her speak. I don't want to see her. It won't do me any good. So please, can anyone here help me? How do I move on from someone who won't let me and who has absolutely both the time and money to keep doing it indefinitely? Do I give her that one meeting she wants from me? Would that even help? I'm not from USA or some other first world country, so I pretty much have no legal recourse. And I kind of want to say coming into this one, I wanted to say like just ignore her, but I'm not sure what that's going to do from the way OP explains it. You can't even get the police involved. I mean, if you need a restraining order, I'm assuming you have to go through the police to get one of those, and will they help you anyway? I find it absolutely bizarre that, you know, a stalker can just get away with it like this, and it sounds like the way OP explains it, there's nothing that they can do about it. But I do wonder what her family thinks. I mean, we covered a story earlier on today, probably in another video, just in case, where I got to ask the same question. I wonder if her family know the way she's acting, what she's doing in this situation, stalking you like this, and would informing them help you in any way? But let's cover some comments to see what they say about it. Macaulay Mum says, see an attorney and draft a cease and desist letter for the constant mail. If she continues, seek a restraining order. Opie replies saying, restraining orders are filed through the police here, and the police already told me they're just going to drag their feet about it. I can see if there's anything to be done about the letters and packages. Haven't gone to an attorney yet. Santa Made Me says, do not meet her, do not meet her, do not do it. If she catches you alone and isolated, who knows what she'll do? Don't give her an inch. Rich and crazy isn't a good mix, and we don't live in a time where it's good to be on the receiving end of any accusation. You need to not engage, do not talk to her, about her, anything. Stay away, ignore her, never be caught alone with her, ever. Sunflower828 says, I'm sorry to hear about this mess. The best thing you can do is block her out. Maybe even tell her friends to not get involved, and you've set your mind on what you've wanted. You will get through this. Edit. If you do give her the time, it's just gonna suck you into more drama. She cheated and she had the choice on whether or not to, and she chose that path. She will do it again if you give her another chance. Moving on is hard, but it's best to throw out the pictures or whatever. You deserve better. Cheap Challenge says either she is using a detective to follow you, which should be very, very expensive to keep doing every day, or she has access to your phone's tracking information. If you use Android, you may want to look into changing all your passwords and turning off location history and disable location tracking when you aren't using that feature. Tuskabam says, it always amazes me how sorry a cheater is. They're not sorry they did it, they're sorry they got caught. Good for you on ridding yourself of the constant merry-go-round you would have been facing. She would definitely do it again. A cheater will always cheat again. And one more from No Nonsense, who says she's behaving as a typical spoiled rich girl who can't get what she wants. Stay strong, my friend. You're handling all this like a boss. Love your zero tolerance stance on cheating. I'm with you there 100%. As others have mentioned, I would start documenting each incident. I know you said her family would stop any police enforcement. Once you compiled a list of incidents, I would try again with an attorney. I wish you well. So now let's move on to the update to find out what happened next. There were tons of advice in the thread and a lot of support for the shitty situation I was in, and I want to thank you all for trying your best to help me. In the end, I set up a meeting with my ex's mother, whom I'd mentioned in one of my posts when I was replying to people about this whole thing. It was roughly a week after I'd made my previous post. She knew why we were broken up, and completely backed up my decision to break up with her daughter, seeing how much it hurt me. It meant a lot to me, and I guess I never really appreciated her mum being so friendly with me while we were together. I explained to her what had been going on since the breakup. She only knew that the ex was trying to get back together with me, but she didn't know about her showing up at any place I went out, her friends badgering me, or letters and gifts being sent my way constantly. I came close to tearing up because of how much support she showed me at the time. At one point she even hugged me and kissed the top of my head like I was a little kid again. I felt both embarrassed and grateful. I just wanted space and time to heal from this shit, and I think she understood as much. All in all, after we got that out in the open, she promised me she would get her daughter back into line, to leave me alone and stop harassing me. We talked a bit some more after that, but went on our way soon after. The ex's harassment continued for a day or two, and then it completely stopped. No messages, no calls, no sudden appearances where I was hanging out or anything. 3 weeks out and nothing from her so far. It's been bliss. It's like this huge weight just rolled straight off me. It's easier to breathe, and I'm not even looking at the door of some place I'm hanging out to see if it's the ex or one of her friends. I didn't even notice that myself. My friends were the one who brought it up to me. So yeah, this is 1,000 times better than what it was like before. I did talk with my ex's mum one more time over the phone, and I thanked her for whatever she did with her daughter, and she was saying it was the least she could do. Near the end of the conversation, she said it'd probably be best for me if we didn't speak anymore. It would let me fully move on from this, but that she was sorry it had come to this, and that her and her husband, wouldn't see me coming over for Christmas. We said our goodbyes and that was that. So that's it, the harassment stopped, I'm feeling great and life's looking better nowadays. One more time, thank you all you guys and girls for trying to help me out from the shit pile I found myself in. Wow, and I'm glad the mum stepped in this one. I think it could have went either way really. We've read stories similar to this, but you know, the family all turns on the victim in the situation. So I'm very glad that mum stepped in to help OP out of this situation and that life is moving on in the way that they want that. But now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Turns Out Insane. Family left me, 18 male, when they thought I wasn't my dad's son, but now they want to get back in touch. Bunch of friends on Reddit, so alt. I don't think the technical details will matter a lot, so I'll get right down to business. 4 years ago, Dad found out Mum had a lifelong affair. More than one, but that's another story. He knew about a couple of affairs she had in the past and forgave her. Hanging in there for the kids, moving on, yada yada. But that time, 4 years ago, he found out me and my 2 siblings might not be his kids, considering the time of the affair. This was the first time we all heard Mum's, well, everything really. This was a whole DNA thing, and it turned out my siblings were my dad's and I was not. Cool, right? So Dad leaves Mum, divorces her, moves out, takes both my siblings with him. Not me though. I stayed behind with my mum, who hits a new low finding herself alone, and we both become pretty much outcasts as far as most of the family is concerned. My older brother was particularly mean to me. We were really tight before, and the shit he did to me, I swear, had I been bigger at the time, I would have punched him hard, more than once. I don't want to get into details because I can't since I could be recognised, but stuff happened and I got DNA again, and as it turns the fuck out, DNA number 1 was messed up and I am my dad's kid. Now, I don't need legal advice on this. Grandpa is the man, always had my back. We got a lawyer and are looking to settle, but Dad wants back in my life. Brother is calling and wanted to meet up and talk shit. I don't fucking want to. I want these people out of my life. Mum already forgave everyone. She's going on a date with my dad and I feel sick, but not my business, right? I wish them both good fucking luck, but I want none of it. Only nobody leaves me be. I keep hearing that they are family and I ought to hear them out and give them a chance or I'll regret it later. And that the only reason I won't talk to them is because I'm a teen and stupid or some other shitty explanation. So give me some perspective here, please. Do I sound unreasonable when I say thanks but fuck no? Thanks. Now there's one line that really jumped out to me and I can already see it's the first line in the comment that we're going to read in a second as well, and it says, I don't fucking want to. That's up to you. Stay with your grandpa, live your life. You know, he was quite happy to cut you off just like that without any explanation by the sounds of it, so you know, it's up to you. And we saw the excuse that we see time and time again in relationship stories. But family, God, the respectable says, and quotes, I don't fucking want to, and then says, so don't. You are under no obligation to anyone. If you want to be no part or distant part of their lives, that's your choice. CC says, and quotes, I keep hearing that they're family and I ought to hear them out and give them a chance or I'll regret it later. Then goes on to say, too bad they didn't give you the same consideration when they kicked you to the curb. Spoon Bill says, and quotes, I don't fucking want to, I want these people out of my life, and then says, is a perfectly reasonable, understandable, rational perspective. You can also change your mind later. Your feelings are valid and deserve respect, whatever they are. The Redler says, put them on blast. They abandoned you. Your brother doesn't get a second chance because he only saw you as a brother if blood was involved. Fucking bullshit. Your dad is even worse and extremely childish. Privatize social media, stay strong and focus on the people that are important to you. Grandpa and friends, etc. Edit, for OP I want to clarify, put the rest of your family on blast. If anyone is upset, you're not in contact. Tell people your story. They won't be so eager to get you guys to talk if they know what really happened, since it's likely your dad/brother only told their side. Palumbo says, tell them DNA doesn't make a family. That maybe you share some DNA with your father, but he's shown he wasn't your father for a year ago, and same about your brother. If your brother doesn't get it, remind him what he told to you. If your father doesn't get it, ask him why didn't call you those last years for your birthday. Now, we have a couple of updates on this one, so let's move on over to that first update. So, thank you for all the advice, but I decided to go with my grandpa's, which was kind of the same of most of you gave me, and I'll be standing my ground. I've been really annoyed lately because a lot of people around me keep saying I'm a crazy teen and I'll regret it, but Grandpa made a point that I need to stop trying to decide how I'll feel in the future, because truth is, you can never know. You have to make decisions now based on feelings and info you have now, not based on feelings and info you might have later. Right now, I'm disgusted by my dad and brother. I want nothing to do with them. I don't trust them, and I even think there is a chance they might be doing this, reaching out, just for optics and money. If my feelings change, I will deal with that when they do. Cross the bridge when I get to it and all. I wasn't really going to post an update on this because I don't see the point. My story is kinda over. But something happened yesterday and I wanted to share. So I decided to stand by my, fuck no, I don't want to talk to them. I'll be moving to another city soon and decided to change my number. Grandpa is the only one who will be having the new one. I asked him not to share and I know he won't. He's a retired cop, so he's really a badass and has zero patience for bullshit. My new number is safe. He called my mum and told her that from now on, if anyone wanted to reach me, they'd have to go through him. So mum showed up at his place. I've been living with him for a while and tries to talk to me, but Grandpa says she has to talk to him first, so he can decide whether she is allowed to talk to me or not. Lol. Mum goes insane and starts telling him it's none of his business and that this is between me and my dad. So Grandpa goes something like, if anybody shows up at my lawn to disturb the boy, I'll get the cops, a restraining order and a shotgun. It goes on for a while until my mum says I'm not the only family Grandpa has and that by doing this, Grandpa is pushing everyone away and splitting the family. He has other grandchildren, why is he just picking the one? And so on. So Grandpa fucking laughs and tells her that, through no fault of his, the family blew up long ago and everyone just grabbed a piece of what was left and ran for it. He looks at me and says I'm his piece, so he's not letting go and fuck it. I was feeling like laughing up to this point, cause mum was going crazy and all, but when he fucking said that I broke. Mum left after a while and I just hugged my old man like life depended on it, and he just said something like, enough now, no need for that, I'm your family, family doesn't leave. You remember that when you have one of your own, and I fucking will. Edits. Oh, before I forget, some people were asking about what my siblings were like. Well, my older brother stole and took shit that was mine or supposed to be mine. He lied to me and about me, and not the innocent kid lie, but fucked up shit that ruined relationships I had with friends, family, even a girlfriend I cared about. He was a huge bully for years, even hit me once. Mum said he's going through a lot too, and Dad couldn't care less and just protected him. Grandpa told him if he ever hit me again, he would break brother's teeth in. I guess he believed him because he never touched me after the one time. Younger brother is cool, I'd rather not talk about him here. Another edit, I read the comment section to Grandpa, had to explain what OG is and how he wants to watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Lol. But we thank you for all the love. Reading the replies on my first post, he just said the internet is very smart. Reading the replies on this update, he got a little emotional and left saying he had stuff to do. But he got a beer, came back and asked if there were more people saying stuff. The comment comparing him to Clint Eastwood made his day. Thanks for the love, guys. And there was one more little update that said, it is an act of God that I still remember the password to this throwaway, but fuck guys. People, you're not gonna effing believe this. I don't effing believe this. The lab didn't make a mistake on my results. What they did is they mixed the results of all children. I am my dad's bio son, but my older brother is not, which is fucking weird because he looks like dad. Maybe mum has a type. Turns out it was his lab result stuff, whatever with my name on it. He'll be triple checking it now with another lab, but I mean, fuck. The settlement has a confidential disclosure clause, something on details, so I will not be speaking about this ever and all ever again, because it's damn good money, so shush. But I had to share this because fucking lol. If anybody is keeping score, I now believe in karma. Holy moly, does that stuff actually happen? People getting like their DNA results all mixed up like that? There's a program in the UK, I don't know if you ever get it across in the US or something, very British program called Only Fools and Horses, where some blood types get mixed up and they don't know who's the brother, etc., which causes a big rift in the family in that particular episode. But I've never heard anything like a real life situation like that. That's absolutely crazy. But what do you guys make of this situation? That's a mad one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support and time always means the absolute world to me. Had some people asking about if they could do fan art and stuff like that just recently. We call it friend art here because you're not my fans, you're my friends. But yes, I absolutely love all that sort of stuff. If you can share it with me on Twitter, that'd be absolutely amazing. And maybe I can share it in these videos if you will allow me to, especially of Poppy. If you've got any of that art sort of Poppy, someone sent me some the other day and it was absolutely amazing. I'm overjoyed with it. Anyway, I'm going off on one. Don't get me started. Thank you so much for your time today, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. A, B, C, 1, 2